If she leans toward you during conversation, even just slightly, it is her subconscious signaling that she wants to be closer. Distance is protective, closeness is inviting. If she maintains steady eye contact, holding your gaze longer than she does with others, that is not just politeness. It's intimacy unfolding without words. Her eyes are studying you, lingering on you, asking silently, "Do you notice me noticing you?" Then there is the art of mirroring. Humans, by instinct, mirror those they feel connected to. If you sip your drink and moments later she does the same, if you cross your legs and she subtly follows, this is not coincidence. It is her nervous system aligning with yours, a physical manifestation of her attraction. She may not even be aware she's doing it, but her body is sensing with you because it wants to belong in your rhythm. Touch is another language altogether. It may begin innocently, her hand brushing yours as she passes something, or a light tap on your arm when she laughs. But the consistency of those touches reveals intention. If she keeps finding excuses to initiate small forms of contact, she is communicating comfort, desire, and curiosity all at once. These gestures are not just about physical closeness. They are about testing the waters, asking silently, "Will you welcome me here?" And yet, body language is not always bold. Sometimes it is found in the subtleties of posture. The way she uncrosses her arms when speaking to you, the way her torso faces you even if the rest of the group is elsewhere, or the way she exposes the soft, vulnerable parts of her body, her neck, her wrists without realizing it. Vulnerability is attraction's twin. When she shows you openness in her body, she's showing you trust, and that trust is rarely given to someone she feels indifferent about. But here is where many men fail. They look for the grand gestures and miss the quiet signs. They expect her to throw herself into their arms, when in reality, attraction is often in the small, almost invisible movements. The truth is, if you train your eyes to see, her body will always tell you more than her words ever will. So the question is not whether she likes you, it's whether you're paying attention. Because the woman who leans closer, who mirrors your gestures, who allows her eyes to linger, is speaking in a language older than words. It is a language of instinct, of chemistry, of desire unfolding quietly in the spaces between conversation. And if you ignore it, you miss not only her attraction, but her vulnerability. You miss the invitation she is extending without uttering a single word. Attraction, after all, is not something a woman shouts. It's something she whispers with her body. The man who learns to listen will always see what others are blind to. The closing truth is this: desire does not always announce itself with noise. Sometimes it comes in silence, in posture, in touch, in the smallest glance. A woman's body reveals what her lips conceal, and the man who learns to observe this silent confession will never again have to question whether she feels it. He will already know. One of the clearest signals of sexual attraction, though often overlooked, is the way a woman uses her voice when she is around you. Speech, like body language, is not just a tool for communication. It is also a medium for emotion. A woman who feels drawn to you will rarely sound the same as she does when speaking to everyone else. There is a subtle shift in tone, in rhythm, and even in choice of words. It's as if her subconscious reshapes her voice to hold your attention, to create a private atmosphere between the two of you even when others are around. Think about it. When people are nervous around someone they like, their voice may rise slightly, betraying excitement or heightened energy. A woman attracted to you may unconsciously soften her tone, making it gentler, more melodic, because she wants to sound inviting, soothing, and intimate. It becomes less about speaking for the sake of communication and more about how her words make you feel. That's why you may notice she laughs more when you speak, or that her laughter feels exaggerated, even when the joke isn't all that funny. It isn't about the joke, it's about you. It's her way of affirming that your presence delights her, of giving you permission to continue leading the interaction. Pauses also matter. Pay attention to how she listens. When she likes you, she doesn't rush to fill the silence after your words. Instead, she lingers as if savoring your voice. She asks questions, not because she needs the information, but because she wants to hear you speak again. Attraction lives in those little hesitations, in the way she hangs on your words, in the way her responses stretch longer than they need to. Playfulness in tone is another powerful signal. A woman who teases you, who exaggerates her words, or playfully mimics something you said, is not just joking, she is flirting. Teasing creates a private dynamic, a back and forth dance that separates you from everyone else. It's her way of testing the waters, of seeing if you'll match her energy, if you'll play along and build that tension with her. If you notice this happening, understand it for what it is, not random banter, but her creating a playground of intimacy with you at the center. There's also the vulnerability that sneaks into her voice. If she lowers it when speaking privately, or if she slows her words when she wants to confide something, it is a deliberate opening of trust. A lowered voice draws you closer, both physically and emotionally. It's an unspoken invitation, lean in. I want this moment to belong only to us. That shift in vocal intimacy is rarely accidental. It signals comfort, desire, and a wish to carve out a space that feels separate from the rest of the world. But here's the deeper truth: a woman's voice is not just a reaction, it's an extension of her attraction. She is not only expressing herself, she is creating energy between the two of you. That's why her words can sound like music when she's interested, why her laughter feels contagious, why her silences don't feel awkward, but instead feel charged with possibility. Too often, men focus only on the content of what is being said and miss the melody beneath it. They analyze the story she tells but ignore how she tells it, yet that how reveals far more than the words themselves. Her voice is not merely carrying information, it's carrying her emotion. If you want to understand whether a woman is sexually attracted to you, stop listening only with your ears and begin listening with your awareness. And this is where your responsibility lies: to notice, to interpret, and to respond with respect. Because when she shifts her voice for you, she is offering you a piece of her vulnerability. She is saying, without words, I want you to hear me differently than everyone else. That is not something to take lightly. It is an unspoken confession wrapped in sound. So remember this: a woman's attraction is rarely loud, but it is always there for the man who knows how to listen. Her voice will betray her long before her words do. If you train yourself to hear not just what she says, but how she says it, you will never again question whether desire is present. You will hear it echoing in every note. When it comes to attraction, the body almost always betrays what the mind is trying to conceal. One of the most revealing signs that a woman is sexually attracted to you is in the way she positions herself physically around you. The human body is honest. It reacts before the conscious mind has a chance to edit or suppress. A woman may not outright say she's interested, but her body will whisper it through subtle movements, through angles, through the way she places herself in your space. Proximity is the first clue. Think about how people behave around those they feel neutral toward. They keep a polite distance, respecting boundaries without even thinking about it. But when she feels that pull toward you, her body begins to collapse those boundaries. She leans in when you talk. She finds a way to sit or stand closer than she needs to, or she shifts her body in your direction, even if you're not the one speaking. Attraction draws her toward you like a magnet, and her body obeys that pull before she even realizes it. Then there's the way she orients herself. A woman who is into you doesn't just face you physically, she aligns herself with you energetically. Her feet point in your direction. Her torso opens toward you. Her shoulders tilt ever so slightly to create a line of focus on you. This is not coincidence, it's instinct. When someone feels drawn in, their body naturally seeks alignment with the object of their attention. It's her nonverbal way of saying, you are the center of my awareness right now. Touch, or the lack of resistance to it, is another powerful signal. She might find excuses to brush against your arm, to place her hand lightly on your shoulder when laughing, or to adjust something near you that brings her closer. These touches may seem innocent, but they are charged with intent. Even when she doesn't initiate touch, her reaction to yours reveals the truth. If she doesn't pull away, if she lingers in that contact just a second longer than necessary, that's her body signaling comfort and desire. There's also the subtle mirroring effect. Without realizing it, she may start mimicking your gestures. If you take a sip, she does too. If you cross your arms, moments later she follows. This is not mimicry for the sake of copying. It's the body's subconscious attempt to create harmony and synchronization. Mirroring is one of the strongest nonverbal cues of attraction because it reflects a deep psychological desire to connect. Her body is saying, I want to be in rhythm with you. And then there are the micro movements, those small but powerful cues, her hair being tucked behind her ear more often when you're speaking, her lips slightly parted when you enter the room, her neck exposed as she tilts her head to the side. These are not random. Each movement is a release of tension, a small, instinctive invitation designed to catch your attention. The body, when stirred by attraction, begins to present itself in ways that are softer, more open, more receptive. But here's where many men miss the mark. They expect these signals to be loud, exaggerated, obvious. The truth is, the most powerful signs of desire are usually subtle. They live in the small shifts, the unconscious gestures, the changes in posture that most people overlook. Yet if you are attentive, if you train yourself to read beyond words, you will notice them. And once you see them, you cannot unsee them. This is why awareness is such a powerful tool in attraction. It allows you to move beyond guesswork. Instead of wondering if she feels something for you, you observe her body telling you the story. And once you recognize those signals, you are in a position of clarity. You can choose how to respond, how to reciprocate, or how to step back if necessary. So let me leave you with this: a woman's words may dance around her feelings, but her body rarely lies. If you pay attention, her posture, her proximity, her touch, her mirroring will all speak volumes. Desire does not need to be declared, it is revealed. And if you learn to see it, you will never again mistake indifference for interest, nor interest for indifference. Her body is the confession. Your job is to listen. One of the clearest signs that a woman feels a strong sexual attraction toward you, even if she tries to mask it, is in the way her eyes betray her. The eyes are the window to the soul, not just because they reveal emotion, but because they act faster than words, faster than thought. They register desire in ways the conscious mind cannot fully control. A fleeting glance, a dilated pupil, an inability to hold or break eye contact at the right moments. These are all signals her body sends out, even when she's attempting to appear composed or indifferent. Think about this. When someone is uninterested, their gaze tends to wander. They might glance at their phone, look around the room, or keep their attention on anything but you. But when she's drawn to you, her focus narrows. Her eyes keep finding you almost involuntarily. Even in a crowded room, her gaze seeks you out again and again, as if confirming your presence grounds her. Attraction has a way of hijacking focus, making it almost impossible to ignore the person who stirs those feelings inside. And then there's the intensity of the look. Eye contact can be playful, soft, or piercing, depending on what she's feeling. A woman who is sexually drawn to you may hold your gaze just a second longer than normal. That extra beat is not an accident. It's her body sending a message her lips may never dare to form. Sometimes it's not even about prolonged eye contact, but about the depth of it. Her eyes may seem to search yours, as though she's trying to read you, or perhaps even give herself away in the process. Another subtle but undeniable giveaway is pupil dilation. It's a biological response, one she has no control over. When aroused or highly stimulated emotionally, the pupils expand, literally allowing more light in, as though to take in more of you. You may not always catch it, unless you're attentive. But when you do, it's as raw and honest as desire gets. Her body is confessing what her words are unwilling to. There are also the quick, stolen glances, the kind she tries to disguise. Maybe she looks away the moment you catch her watching you, or pretends she was focused on something else. This back and forth dance of attention and retreat is her attempt to balance attraction with restraint. The mind says, don't make it obvious. But the eyes betray the thought every single time. And pay attention to the way she pairs eye contact with other expressions. A smile held too long, a lip bite immediately after locking eyes, or the subtle raising of her brows when she first sees you. These are micro-expressions, lightning fast but incredibly revealing. They show not just attraction, but excitement, the spark of energy that rises when someone's presence stirs something primal. The truth is, sexual attraction is almost always revealed in the eyes before it's revealed anywhere else. Words can be carefully chosen. Actions can be rehearsed. But the eyes are impulsive. They are direct, they are honest. A woman who is craving, you may try to hide it in her words, in her posture, in her composure. But her eyes will always tell a different story if you're observant enough to see it. So here's what you must remember: attraction isn't always spoken, but it is always shown. And the eyes, more than anything else, are where the truth leaks out. When her gaze lingers, when her pupils betray her, when she keeps returning to you despite trying not to. Believe it. That is desire in its purest, unfiltered form. Let this sink in. Words can lie, but the eyes rarely do. If you learn to read what's written in them, you'll never again be blind to the truth of her feelings. Watch her eyes, and you will know. Another unmistakable sign that a woman is sexually attracted to you, even when she tries to conceal it, lies in the subtleties of her body language, particularly her touch. Touch is one of the most powerful forms of human communication, and it rarely operates on a conscious level when attraction is involved. She may never openly admit how she feels, but her hands, her arms, even the way she positions her body around you will whisper truths her words carefully avoid. When a woman craves you, her sense of personal space changes. Normally, people guard their space as a form of self-protection, but attraction overrides that instinct. She'll lean in closer than necessary, brush past you when there was ample room to avoid it, or let her knees graze yours in conversation without pulling back. These subtle movements are not random. They are expressions of longing that emerge through physical closeness, a silent invitation to bridge the gap between the two of you. It doesn't always have to be obvious. Sometimes it's in the accidental touches that happen too often to be mere coincidence. The light tap on your arm during a joke, the playful shove in response to a tease, the way her hand lingers a second longer when she passes you something. These micro touches are where her restraint breaks down and her desire leaks through. What makes them powerful is not the touch itself, but the fact that they happen under the guise of casualness. It's her way of feeding her craving without exposing herself fully. Another thing to notice is how her body aligns with yours. A woman who isn't drawn to you may angle her body away, crossing her arms or positioning objects between you as barriers. But when the attraction is strong, her body betrays her restraint. She'll face you directly, lean toward you as though pulled by an invisible thread, and open her posture in ways that signal both comfort and desire. Her body literally orients itself to you, showing where her attention and her craving truly lies. Even fidgeting becomes a form of expression when attraction enters the picture. She may play with her hair while talking to you, adjust her clothing unnecessarily, or find reasons to keep her hands busy. It might look like nervousness, but beneath it lies energy that she cannot contain. Her body is restless because her attraction is bubbling beneath the surface, and she has no easy way to channel it without revealing too much. There's also the way she reacts when you touch her. If a woman is indifferent, your touch barely registers. But if she's craving you, even a light touch on her hand or shoulder will produce a reaction. Sometimes a sharp inhale, sometimes a small shiver, sometimes an almost imperceptible pause in her words. Her body magnifies the contact because it's what she secretly wants more of, even if she pretends otherwise. All of this comes down to one central truth: desire is physical before it is verbal. Words are often filtered, managed, and disguised, but the body has fewer defenses. A woman may try to suppress her feelings, but the unconscious choices she makes, the closeness, the touches, the restless energy, reveal what she's too guarded to say. So if you pay attention, you'll begin to see the patterns. You'll notice the consistency of her proximity, the frequency of her light touches, the openness of her posture. And once you see it, you can no longer deny what it means. Her body is communicating a craving that her mind is reluctant to admit. Let me leave you with this thought: the body never lies. If you want to know whether she's truly drawn to you, watch the space between you, the touches that happen